What's up, everyone? This is the People's Fit Coach, Sincere Hogan, and I'm doing this for MBodyPro.com. I am basically a small town East Texas boy, and I now live in the big city of Houston, Texas. I like long walks on the beach, sunsets. My background, as far as what I went to school for, wasn't even in fitness or anything health related per se. Started out as a psychology major, so because I'm very interested. I've always been interested in the way that people think and human behavior. Prior to all that, during high school, I began working at a local radio station and became an on-air personality. Eventually began doing marketing promotions with some of the biggest record labels that you could think of. I guess you could say, what does that have to do with psychology? Well, if you want to study human behavior, the entertainment industry is definitely the place to be. One thing about being in that industry, there's so many things surrounded around eating, drinking, and it's just the lifestyle can take a toll on your body. And right around that time, probably about almost 10 years ago, right around the time when I was getting ready to stop doing this, is when I just took a look in the mirror on my 31st birthday, and I just looked like, whoa, completely let myself go. And don't get me wrong, during like middle school, high school, early days of college, was very athletic, always participated in sports, and got into the bodybuilding scene for a while there as far as the training from that. But even before that, Olympic lifting, all that, I just had to make a decision like, I can't live like this, and I have to be healthy and strong, and I have to set a great example for my children. And I didn't want my daughter growing up and seeing, her dad being sick, overweight, and I wanted to remain active like my son remembered me being. So went back to training, hitting the gym really hard, and next thing you know, the weight started coming off, started looking healthier, feeling better. My friends started noticing, they're like, dude, what are you doing? And I explained to them like, hey, I just had to make a change. And they started asking me questions like, hey, can you help me out? And so I would give them advice here and there, give them some programs, and next thing you know, they were like, dude, you're great at this. And I know you want to get out of the music industry, maybe you should think about, becoming a personal trainer. And from that moment, I guess you could say the rest was history. My fitness philosophy is there's more to fitness than just diet and exercise. There's it's a giant picture out there, and what we need to do is to help those who are seeking our help peel back those layers and discover what it is that's holding them back. At what point did the exercise not work for them, or they weren't even motivated to exercise in the first place? What events triggered this reliance on food to be almost like a best friend or a mortal enemy? So we have to start digging deeper. A certification and a degree in exercise science can't really help you really peel back the layers and get to that pain that brings a lot of people to living unhealthy lifestyles. It's about asking the right questions to give them the opportunity for themselves to look deep within themselves and find out like, hey, you know what? Maybe I forgot all about the time on the playground when this kid pushed me down and called me a fat pig, or the time when someone made me feel like I wasn't good enough when we were playing kickball and I got picked last and things like that. Little things like that can trigger someone 30, 40, 50 years from now not wanting to participate in any type of physical activity. So it's just those little things. So it's just really, you gotta really peel back those layers to find out like what got them there. Oh man, thanks a lot for the compliment. What really gets me going, like I said earlier, is my children, my family, my wife, now my puppy, and I just want to set the best example possible. It's not so much about, oh, I'm the guy, that's always taking care of himself and working out, or who's always eating the right things. Look, dude, there are times when I might eat some things that some in our industry wouldn't even consider, the best choices. But you know what? They're the best choices for me because I eat them without stressing. To me, I think one of the worst things you can do is, what's worse than just eating a lot of unhealthy foods is to have an unhealthy attitude about the healthy foods that you choose. So being all spastic and all like, I gotta eat this, it's gotta be organic, it's gotta be this, and you're not living. You're being so spastic about this, so you're stressing out about eating healthy. Well, that's a paradox right there. You're stressing to be healthy. That doesn't make any sense. What keeps me going is just to be in the moment and really enjoying life and setting that example for everyone. So if I'm gonna have some chocolate, dude, you better believe I'm gonna enjoy every freaking piece of that chocolate. I enjoy life. I enjoy my family. I enjoy talking to my wife almost like every night, 4 and 5 hours, just talking. No TV, none of that. I truly enjoy the conversation. I truly enjoy talking to my friends like Marcus, not just on industry things, but just life, man. Two family dudes, talking to each other and just, hey man, just taking, looking at life. And when you start to truly live in the moment and enjoy your life, you will see that everything else will start to change. You won't have to worry and stress so much about, am I eating the right thing? Am I working out enough? Am I working out long enough? Am I doing the right exercise? Am I doing this? Am I doing that? Dude, live. Just live. So living is what keeps me motivated and keeps me in peak performance. Living. I love it. I love life. And I've created a life where I can actually enjoy the things that I do, the places that I go, the people that are around me. I surround myself with the top things in life that I'm blessed to even be privy to. It's really simple. I know to some it won't seem simple, but to me it's really simple. I set my own rules instead of playing by others' rules. And what I mean by that is when I'm at the gym and conducting my classes, that time is gym time. And that time belongs to my, I don't even like to say clients, my fitness family, my health family that's there. That time belongs to them. And I tell them the same thing. Turn off your cell phones, whatever. If you're in a crappy mood, once you get out of your car, leave that mood in the car, because this is where you come to relieve that stress and get into a better mood. This is your moment. This is your time. I'm the same way. When I'm training, that's my time. That's my me time. When I meditate, that's another thing that keeps me grounded and just keeps me at peace and keeps me connected to the point where I can be effective. Gives me time to reflect internally and really get an understanding of what's happening on the inside so that I might be more effective on the outside. So meditation is very important to me, and that really helps out. When I'm with my family time is my family time. So I'm sorry, business doesn't happen, especially on the weekends. Saturday is a day I spend with my wife. Sundays, time I spend with my kids, my wife, my in-laws, we're all together. Friday is date day with my wife. So basically Friday, Saturday, Sunday, business is off limits. I've had clients call, I had potential clients call and want to sign up or whatever. I'm not taking that phone call. I'm not. The money's not that important that I need to I gotta take this call, I gotta make this money. No, what's important is that time that I have dedicated specifically for my family. The only time on the weekend that it's not family time is when I'm out of town or out of the country teaching a workshop, okay? And even then, my wife is usually with me when I travel. So when the workshop is done, I'm hanging out with her. You gotta set your own boundaries. You gotta write your own rules and not let life and what's normal dictate to you how you should be living. You get to dictate how you live. You get to write your own rules. You get to focus on what's important to you. You get to live the life that you want to create. And a lot of times we don't know exactly what that is. So, my challenge to anyone that's listening to this right now, pull out a pen and paper and you write down what is most important to you. What is non-negotiable when it comes to your lifestyle. Write that down and then, really put a plan together to make that plan stick. So if this is what's important to you, why is it important to you? And why is it that there's non-negotiable when it comes to this? So once you really hammer that home, then you start to write your own rule book. And then everyone else is just going to either have to comply with your rules or they're going to have to step aside. And it's okay. As long as you're not being, rude about it, but as long as you're being firm, it's a done deal. My advice for building better habits is to understand what habits are necessary for you to live a better life. And a lot of times we don't know exactly what those habits are. A lot of times because we don't know exactly what it is we need in order to live a better life. There are a lot of wants. I want to do this. I want to lose 5 pounds before this event. I want to look good in this. I want to be skinny. I want to do this. A lot of those things are not, what's the word I'm looking for? They don't have enough weight to really move you. They're very superficial. They're like symptoms. They're not exactly the root cause of what makes you, what gets you going, gets your blood flowing. So really, you gotta look at what gets you going. What are you passionate about? What just gets you going to the point where you obsess about it, you can't stop thinking about it. And it's just like you want to be involved in that thing. Once you know what that is, then you start thinking about, okay, how can I experience that thing on a more consistent basis? Well, so if I want to train more, I really love working with kettlebells, what am I going to do? Well, I'm going to go and seek the best kettlebell gym out there, or find the best website, with great instruction on how to use a kettlebell if I can't find one locally, like MBodyPro.com. So you need to find those things that make you feel good, that make you feel alive, and then you put together the plan that helps you be involved in those things that help you feel alive. And then you focus on that, you work on that, you make that non-negotiable as far as you utilizing those habits in order to put you in that moment of feeling alive. So find out what gets you going. Then find out what it takes to keep that going. Okay, and there you go. So, yeah, it might sound like, oh, that sounds difficult. Yeah, it does sound difficult when you say it sounds difficult. But when it feels effortless, and that's what happens when you start doing things that you're passionate about, it's not gonna be difficult. The only thing that's difficult is doing the things that you don't freaking give a what's but about. So my advice to you right now is to stop being involved in things that don't freaking matter, that don't move you. There's the first development of good habits. Getting rid of all the crap that doesn't matter. Start looking more toward the things and being involved in things that do get you going. That's the first habit you can start doing, is differentiating the two. What is it that gets me going? What is it that gets on my freaking nerves? This that's getting on my freaking nerves, get rid of it. This that gets you going, get more of it. So they're your first habits right there to start developing. Everything else will fall into place. Start right now, this very moment. Start doing the things that make you feel alive. Because if you're not feeling alive, then you're slowly dying. It's just that simple. Either you live or you die. Make a choice. I think that's very self-explanatory. I want to say a big thank you to all of the people out there in the MBody Pro Nation. Thank you for taking this time out, spend a little time to get to know a little bit more about me, Sincere Hogan. You can find out more about me right here at MBodyPro.com in the coming weeks, and find out more about me at NewWarriorTraining.com. Once again, I want to send a big shout out to Marcus. Thanks a lot, brother, for having me. And everybody at MBody Pro, see you on the side.